of Today with Pastor Jay, and I have Minesh. Oh man, hold on, don't tell me. Boxy?
Bakshi.
I did it right.
You did great.
I want to say boxy, but it's boxy.
Bakshi. Yeah.
Bakshi.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
with a
little bit
she.
H.
Oh, bakshi. Let me
Yes.
let me write it phonetically.
Yes. Bakshi.
You knew what I was doing. Okay. All right. Let me know when you are ready. Okay, guys, we got it. Somewhat. Okay. Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about money. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, and my highly esteemed guest is Minesh Baxi. And we're going to be talking about money. Money, and some more money. And I'm excited about that. So, welcome to Today with Pastor Jay.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really respect you so much. And I think the main thing about you is you are here to support and serve the community. The moment I saw you just over a year ago, I was like, here is a lady that I can count on. She's totally about her community.
That's right.
And I've never had to question that.
Oh, I appreciate that. And you know, what I learned about you was the exact same thing: community, family, and you have an amazing and adorable wife. You guys are so cute together.
Yeah, we've been married 31 years. We have two children. We have homeschooled all our life. My daughter is 20 and
Mm-hmm.
my son is 15. And really, I've enjoyed a tremendous blessing in my life. You've been to Disney World, you won't believe it, 200 times.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you
And
just saying that, or
no,
has it
I'm
really been
not.
200 times?
Yeah. And so I'll just give you a quick story about that because I think people need to hear
Mm-hmm.
what happens. So even before we had kids, I had already decided to homeschool. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we can talk about that on a topic
Sure.
some other time. But one of the things happened when my daughter was about 11 or so. In the middle of the night, I find that there is light under the bed, under the door,
Mm-hmm.
and like every parent who wants to give as much permission to my children, I walked into the door without her permission. So I just found out she was Snapchatting, video chatting with somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the moment I
How old
said,
was she now?
11.
11. Whew.
And that's the moment I said, I can take away her toys, but the reason she's looking for other relationships is because I, as a family member, is not spending enough time and learning about her. And that's the week I decided that, hey, you know what? We were living in Michigan at that time. We moved to Palm Coast a year and a half ago. And I said to my families, like, hey, we will go to Florida. We'll stay there for about 3 months. And guess what? We'll go to Disney World practically every day. So we went like 60 some days in a row.
No way.
Yeah. And again, because I'm flexible, I have my own business, my
Mm-hmm.
children are homeschooled. Some days we would just stop at about 3, 4 o'clock. And Disney was a lot easier to walk into than what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to reserve in advance or all that stuff. You bought an annual pass and just walked around. And we used to do that. And we did so many times. And we did that from the age when she was 12 to about 16. And we ended up going to Disney World well over 200 times.
Wow. Now let's talk about the accent. I love it. We're
Yeah, my accent is from a city called Agra. And for those who are doing New York Times crossword puzzle, know that the four-letter word of the place of Taj Mahal is Agra, Agra. So
mm-hmm.
Agra is the location for the famous monument called Taj Mahal. So that's
Ah,
the city I was born in.
very nice. Very nice. So are you an American citizen?
Absolutely, red, white, and blue.
Oh,
I won't
I
have I won't have it any other way.
so you absolutely are an American citizen. I knew that when I asked the question.
Sure,
You're all about the Constitution.
absolutely.
And what do you love about our country and our government?
Well, it is interesting now that I'm in US, right? And I didn't know this. This is what I think most people need to understand in US. People around the world have no idea what the word freedom means. I had no clue. I had no idea. First Amendment, Second Amendment, nothing. And a lot of people who come from other countries who have not been brought up about awareness to constitution,
Mm-hmm.
they still don't know that Second Amendment is designed to protect your First Amendment.
Hey, I know that.
And you know it, but the majority of people in this country don't know that.
Mm.
And luckily enough, I got connected with some very good people who understood the Constitution. They educated me on it. And I've been part of protests and everything else you can think of, going down to DC, helping one of my friends run for governor in Michigan. Is I became aware that this country is the only country where you can actually learn about being free as a human being whose rights come from God.
Mm.
Everywhere on the planet, people believe, and a lot of people in this country do, unfortunately, Pastor Jay, the rights come from a big government. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if the big government can give you rights, they can take away
Take it.
rights
They
pretty
can
quickly.
absolutely take it away. So let's talk about your business
Mhm.
and what you're doing. Mom entrepreneurs.
Yeah, exactly. So let me give a little bit sense behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been a business coach. I published 10 plus books. One of my books is called
You're an
Stop.
author?
Yes, I published 12 books.
I didn't know that.
Yep,
Look,
another one
that's
coming
why
out.
I love interviews like this. I always get those surprises. Every now and then there's like a aha.
Well, so another one which I'm going to be releasing in this couple of months now is called Seven Critical Career Skills
Mm-hmm.
They Do Not Teach in School, along with my daughter who is 20-year-old. Because, and one of the reasons I homeschooled is here is how I look at it. In life, there is a lot of predictability.
Mm-hmm.
What do I mean by that? We all know at some age you're going to walk and talk. At some age, you're going to be looking for a profession to build your career, income, livelihood around. You're also going to be looking to have a spouse, partner. You're going to have children, and you're going to look to retire as well. It is strange to me that schools, colleges, and most places are not preparing children for these very predictable events. And one of the challenges is money. 78% people live paycheck to paycheck. Now, I've been guilty of this. I've been one of those people who have,
So
used
how
credit
did you
cards.
get out of that?
A good question.
And how long did it take? I mean,
It does take time and you have to be patient. But if you have somebody helping,
can I buy stuff in the meanwhile?
yeah,
I
it's easy.
I like shoes.
Well, here is what I will tell you.
Uh,
Thank you. I
uh-huh.
appreciate it. So, here is what I found out that it is easy to get in debt, but harder to get out of debt.
Ah,
And everybody in the system wants you to get in debt because all the banks, all the financial institutions, even everything, whether it's a car or a home, they want you to get in debt because the moment you get in debt, they have your income. So when you are paying whatever installments you are paying on anything, you are their recurring income stream for the rest of their business, which is what they want. So the longer you stay in debt, the more income they are getting consistently from you. So you and I have to break that cycle and say,
I'll
hey,
break it.
instead of them getting the paycheck, instead of me providing their lifestyle, why shouldn't I look at me and help my family have a better lifestyle? And that's really the concept I want to teach people is, hey, you know what? Every time you're in debt, you're making a payment to somebody, you are basically making somebody else rich. And when you are paying today 20% interest on credit card, an average family has $15,000 in credit card debt. So if you look at 20%, that's at least
Ooh,
$300 a
that's not
month.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just grateful for that.
Well, but because you did the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's being impulsive. Hey, I have a credit card, it has a limit, let me max it out. That's what most people do, and it doesn't work well for them. So we have a simple
But
plan,
how do you
and
change that mindset? Because a
Mhm,
lot of people are used to the debt. In
mhm,
fact, they teach you to expect it.
mhm,
The mortgages, the car payments,
mhm,
the credit card bills, and
mhm.
all those other things. So children are taught that, adults believe that,
Mhm.
and that's just part of life.
Exactly.
Death and taxes.
Death and taxes, and obviously the mortgage comes
And
where
Mar-
the mortgage is till death, right? That's what
mm-hmm.
the mortgage means. You are indebted till death. That's for
That's right.
mortuary, mortgage, that words are in the same domain as well. So the first thing you and I have to get to a point is reality check, right?
Ah,
The reality check is I'm not where I want to be. And the moment you hit that, unfortunately, until you hit that, if you have a bad habit, you're going to stay there for a while. What happens to most of us, and I'm guilty of this, is we don't look for help. There are people like me ready to help. I'll help somebody get out of debt for free. It's like, hey, let me get you a plan of action.
yeah,
Doesn't even
wait a
cost
minute.
you anything.
Hold on. Free? A
Absolutely.
free plan to get out of debt.
Absolutely.
Do you hear that, guys? A free plan to get out of debt.
Yeah. And again, the reason is simple. It doesn't cost me a whole lot. I have a software I use and I can plug in the numbers. I can show you. It's like, hey, here is what it is costing you to not get out of debt. And
Simple
once you
plan.
understand that, pardon?
Simple plan.
Simple plan.
Just got to stick with it.
Just got to stick with it.
So I'm thinking about hiring a personal trainer.
Mhm.
Can I do that on my budget?
Well, I'm
I
sure you
need
could.
to.
Okay, well, that's perfect.
I need to. I need to lose some more weight
Well,
because you
I
know.
think there are, so I don't know where to go with that necessarily, but I can tell you one simple thing. Losing weight is a function of nutrition,
Okay.
not exercise.
Ah, okay.
Okay. We all need to
I
remember
tried to
that.
pick up something off the floor the other day, and I went, I've been,
You've been exercising a lot.
I need to do something else to make sure I can stretch to pick up the item. So I think it's, but things like that, nutrition,
Mhm.
exercise, diet, and all that, you can incorporate that in a person's budget.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because again, it's a priority,
Mm-hmm.
right? The more you feel good about yourself, the more you will do good things.
Ah, I like that. All right, guys, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to teach you how to keep some of your money. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. So this must be really interesting for you because you have bottled water over there? Oh, I see one right here. You see me in the community, but you haven't seen my radio me until today.
It's the female Les Brown. You know him, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, Mark. How much time I have? Let's do the money coming back in. Just the money part.
About 13.
Okay, I just want to kind of gauge it. All right. Oh yeah. We're trying to get that money to stay in your pocket or your pocketbook. We don't want to give it to the banks and to the mortgage companies until you die and pass on that debt to your children. You want to be free, freedom, free from debt. And we have Minesh Baxi here in the studio, and he's going to continue to tell us how to do it. So first step is you got to realize you need help, ask for help. You have a free program.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the first place. And obviously, we mentioned that we have a Facebook group. And again, it says Mom Entrepreneurs, but anybody,
Mom entrepreneurs.
yes, but they can join it. It's
Mm-hmm.
focused on personal finance. My wife and daughter are using that. But anybody is welcome to come there. We'll give a lot of free tips to people about how to boost your credit score. Also, find out how to get out of debt. Make sure you have
Ooh.
a plan of action for your. Now, most people don't know. One of the things we are giving away at that website is called 7 Steps to be Financially Free. And
7 steps to financially freedom.
yes, the
Okay.
first step is most people don't even know this.
I'm writing this down, guys. Step number 1.
Is called Know Your FIN. What is FIN? It's your financial independence number. So it is the number, because most people think retirement is a function of age. No, retirement is a function of how much money you need to
I
have
agree.
so that the interest can pay for your lifestyle.
I agree. My husband and I have a 5-year plan.
Perfect. Exactly.
Yep.
So like if you are living on 30,000 a year, then somewhere about 300,000 depending on 10% interest, or 600,000 depending on 5% interest, you can use that as a gauge to say, okay, I can live on 30,000 a year. Now, I'm not saying that's a desirable number, but I'm just giving an example of how easy it is to calculate that.
Gotcha.
So if you're living on $4,000 a month, again, looking at monthly check, so you would say roughly about $1 million would be what you would need as your financial independence number. But again, it is your number. Now, one of the things we all need to be aware of is the grocery prices are going up,
Oh.
gas prices are going up.
Listen,
so if you're not planning for that,
I'm
then
just
you will
going to
have a
move to the
challenge.
country and get me some chickens and some fish and have a garden.
Absolutely. You will have to do that at some point.
We can laugh and chuckle, but I'm serious about it.
Yeah. Now the second,
Because it will help.
It
It
will
will actually help. Okay, the second thing.
So what I want to mention to people is retirement is no longer static. There was a time when people went to a company or government, they got a pension, and that pension was what is going to take care of the rest of the life. Well,
Right.
we are living much longer, right? So if people are retiring at 60, 65, and they're living up to, like my mother-in-law died at the age of 92, guess what? You and I need to be aware that we are to be planning for 20, 30, 40 years, depending on how many years we are going to live. So the first thing which I would recommend for most people is start a part-time career in retirement, or start early enough in life so that you can continue. Because Pastor Jay, like I'm 61. I'll be 60.
way.
I'll be 61 in October
Really?
next month. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And to me, I'm young enough,
You
in my
are.
opinion. So why won't I continue doing something I like, which is in this case helping people about
that's
money?
what I do.
And that's what it is. So most of us need to find some version of a part-time flexible career as we get closer to retirement.
Makes sense.
Because then, number one is you can obviously take care
Part-time,
of
flexible
expenses.
career. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take care of
I
that.
like it.
But the other part is what most people do not know. And this is important for
Mm-hmm.
you and me to remember, because 3 years ago we had a huge problem called the COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now people don't know.
It's coming back again.
Well,
Election coming up. You know,
here is you and I know that.
Release a new variant.
Here is what. Listen to me. This is from an expert on immunology. I'm not. I'm quoting somebody. The guaranteed way to lose your immunity is to stay away from sunlight and people.
Mm.
So if you are staying away from sunlight and people, you are guaranteed to lose immunity and you will fall prey to anything that comes around. So that's the simple advice that everybody can get. What does that mean? If you have a career where you're talking to people, meeting with people, engaging with people, like Pastor Jay here is doing a great job.
Yeah, your immunity system's going to be good.
Exactly. The first thing you should do about your immunity system is go be around people, build a community, which is the reason I moved to Palm Coast. And why am I so excited about being around Pastor Jay?
Because I'm around
believes
a bunch
in community.
Of people. I believe in community. Absolutely. And that's
we need
why
to
I'm
support
healthy.
each other.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
All right. So what's step 3?
So the step 3 is, in my opinion, that you and I need to focus on is to get out of debt as early as possible.
Get out of debt.
Yes. Okay. That to me is really very important. Now, obviously, I'm not giving exactly sequence wise.
No, that's fine. I'm just writing some of them
But one
down.
of the things is important is also emergency. You and I know we are going to have an emergency sooner or later. What does emergency look like? Predictable life, right?
That's it.
Flat tire, leaky roof, right? Something is going to happen. If you don't even have $1,000, $2,000 available, which statistically speaking,
most people don't.
78% people live paycheck to paycheck. In fact,
78%.
Just today, because somebody I'm grooming in my team and teaching them how to be a money coach, because for those who are interested in creating a part-time career, we have money coach possibilities. So she was showing me that somebody had texted her on Facebook saying, hey, my husband and I make $200,000 a year, but we are pinching pennies and we are embarrassed to be having credit card debt. Can you help? This is somebody making $200,000 a year. Why? Because people have gotten into the habit of not having a plan for their money. Remember, if you don't have a plan for money, the companies that are around you have a plan for your money.
That's right. So the plan, the more you make, the more you spend is not a good plan.
Not a good plan.
That is not a good plan. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. I'll take another step. What else you got?
So then we focus on making sure that we are in our situation where we are currently, is make sure that we are thinking long term about our money.
Long term. Okay.
Because the easiest thing to do is think short term. And the short term is, obviously we think about maybe putting in the bank, but it's better to invest in places. And again, invest in what you feel comfortable with. I'm not here telling only invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. Think about what you are comfortable with. If you don't have enough knowledge,
note to self.
If you don't
Shoes
do enough
is not
diligence,
an investment.
Exactly. Okay. If you don't do enough due diligence, don't go buy it, right?
Right.
Because you may try it for different things, which is fine. Like I just bought a couple of $1,000s of crypto, which is nothing, right? I mean, it's not something which is going to bother me. I'm like, okay, let me try that out and see if there is anything good about it. But why? I'm not going to invest a lot until I have enough awareness of how this thing works.
That makes sense.
If I don't, I'm not buying it.
That makes sense. So a lot of people are buying things. They have no idea what it is.
Because what they do is they listen to other people. They're listening to an expert on a radio, TV, or somewhere else, and like, oh yeah, my friend bought it. He made a lot of money. It's like your friend may have some ideas, or your friend might be making a mistake. Do you really understand what you're going to be doing? People are going into Forex tradings and everything else. It's like, hey, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying, did you do your homework?
All right. Okay. Another idea.
Yeah. So the last and most important part for all of us is going to be, hey, you know what? Am I really planning for a future which is legacy oriented, right? Because at some point in your life, you're no longer looking for survival, because there are 3 stages in general. Survival is the first stage where you're barely making payments. Success is where now you feel comfortable. You're able to enjoy a little bit better life. Significance is when you are starting to make an impact in other people's lives.
I love that.
And I heard somebody say this recently. People who say money can't buy happiness have never had enough to a point that they can give it away and feel good about it. So once you have enough money and you come from abundance. Now there are people who have
give us those 3 S's again. Survival?
Survival, success, and significance.
Mm.
And the more you come from significance early on in life, the easier it is for you to think about legacy. Like my children, that's a
Mm-hmm.
legacy, right? Helping in the community, legacy. Because none of us are taking any money with us, right? Okay. It doesn't mean we shouldn't have a good life. But at the end of the day, what can we do to impact the lives of people in a positive manner? Like for me, my children, I want to make sure that I'm impacting their lives and leaving a legacy, not just money, but more important is that they become the human beings that they can create a better world for them and the people around them.
All right. Well, we got to take another break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. Don't make fun of me, but I live on significance. My husband has to deal with the survival and the success part. It's the truth. I left him
Mark
home.
is chuckling there.
I left him with the other parts. I'm doing the significant. I'm just giving it away and making an impact. Survival, yeah, whatever. We'll get to it. That's where my faith comes in.
Correct. Good point.
Yeah, I want my husband. My husband, he doesn't listen to my show in the way that my wife's on. I'm listening to it, but he subscribed to my channel and he's a huge YouTube watcher.
Okay.
So
Me
every
too.
now and then, he sees my show every week though. He'll say, "Hey, I saw you," because it'll pop up on his screen. So he's gonna hear me talk about. He gonna say, "Yeah, she's telling the truth." Yep, survival, success, and significance. So I depend on my husband for the survival part, my children for the success part, and then I take care of the significance. My children are my retirement plan.
Perfect. I agree with you.
That's what I told them. All right, how much time we have? 3 minutes. All right. You do have a website. You can win. We're going to give a phone number. Um, and try to encourage people to go to this Facebook group.
Yes.
Okay. Want to give a thank you and a shout out to Steve Verrier, thefloridamortgagecenter.com, and to Church on a Rock. Thank you for sponsoring Today with Pastor Jay. During the break, Minesh was laughing at me because the survival, success, and significant plan, I was letting him know I'm focusing on the significance part. That's about it. I'm giving away everything. My husband is handling the survival and my children the success. I have, I've birthed 7 children. I raised them to be my retirement plan.
Absolutely. I see no reason why that should not be the case, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to participate a little bit more in the survival.
We'll need to teach them the money skills.
Okay,
that's the key. So you should
teach
get them in front of me.
Yes.
So I teach them about money, and then they take care of themselves and their parents.
Child number 3. That's the one I need to give her your number.
Okay.
Yeah, she will buy anything if you put it in front of her.
Okay.
And she's funny like that. Why we can't purchase it, Mom? Like, no, we don't need it. She's 30.
Hey, I've made these mistakes, so I'm not talking about any age here, right?
Right.
We all have done about that as well.
So there's a Facebook group called Mom Entrepreneurs, Wealth Budgeting, Personal Finance Tips for Women. And you guys need to join it and get in there. And he's going to teach you how to save some money. Wealth budgeting, personal finance, living debt free, and how to boost your credit score. We all need all of that. And then also there's a website, youcanwin.com.
Yeah. So U is the letter U.
Uh-huh.
Youcanwin.com. What I've done is put together about 30 minutes of simple stuff that people need to know about money. It doesn't cost you anything. Just put in your name, email address. You'll get the information there so that you can actually start doing something, just simple, basic steps that we all can take. And again, don't make it complicated. Go to somebody like me who is going to teach you stuff for free, get you started.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So what's in it for you?
Very good question. So I'm a business and money coach. So obviously, I do make money from financial services.
Gotcha.
But for me personally, until people trust me, until people see the value of what I provide, why should they do any business with me?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So let me show you that these are simple things, improve your situation, then we can talk more about it. But I'm the one that you should talk to if you're specifically embarrassed, frustrated, where to go next. It's like, I can't talk to anybody. You can talk to me because I've made all the mistakes. So I can definitely relate and empathize with you.
Mm, I like that. And it's important to build that trust, especially in someone that's going to be handling your finances. And nowadays, you just don't know who to trust.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
that's good. They can try you out for free,
Exactly.
and you give them all the information, empower them so they can be impactful in their lives and their future and the lives of their children.
Well, now they can go around and
Yeah,
teach other people. I'm also looking for people who want to learn and teach other people, because learn, implement, teach. Learn,
learn,
implement, and
implement,
teach.
teach.
And that's a good way to keep it in your life around as well.
Learn, implement, and teach. I may need some new skills. I'm really, convicted by the fact that I probably spend a lot. I don't spend a lot of money.
Sure.
I try to pay for everything in
Sure.
cash.
Well,
That's
that's good.
good, right?
That's definitely good.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of credit card debt. I bought a
Perfect.
pair of shoes the other day for $4.
Wow.
I know. At the
My
store. It
goodness.
was on clearance. I was so excited. I didn't know what to do. I'm a bargain shopper. I believe there are other ways to make money, and it's called saving money.
Perfect.
If I can't afford to pay for it cash, then I don't need it.
I agree with you 100%.
Yep. Well,
Affordable.
thank you so very much. Remember, you can go to youcanwin.com, and that's the letter U, and look them up on Facebook. Mom Entrepreneurs, Wealth Budgeting and Personal Finance Tips for Women. Is there a phone number or an
Yeah, my
email or
phone number
something?
is 248
Mm-hmm.
866 0063. 248 866 0063. Text me and I'll definitely relate back to you whatever the question is.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for coming on the show. It's been a joy. All right, guys, you know what I say? Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Today, you're going to be intentional about your own wealth, budgeting, personal finance, living debt free, and you want to boost your credit score. God bless you. Have a great day.